Hi, I'm Cash, and welcome back to Cash Talks Football, where I break down goals scored and try to teach you something about football with my over 20 plus years coaching experience from all over the world. Right now, we're looking at Luton against Chelsea. Quite frankly, I've got this thing with Chelsea, and I think as you see this, you're gonna kind of agree with me. If it's not this one person helping to score or scoring himself, they really don't have anybody. But let's have a little look at what's going on right here. So as we can see, Luton's, they're not bad. There's the ball. There's not enough pressure on it for my liking. They're kind of jogging back a little haphazardly. But yeah, their shape's kind of okay. Yeah, you can kind of see what they're doing there. Let's watch as we move this forward. Yeah, do you see how easy he gets to turn and do what he wants? There's no one really pressuring him. So these guys have got a really free run. If we break it down right now, we can see that there's like a little box there. It's 2v2. This guy's got the ball, and this guy should be pressuring him, and he's not. He's just walking away. So if you're doing this in a coaching session and you've got your little cones out, right, and these two are playing, all of a sudden, you want this guy to be pressuring the ball. He's not. He's off trying to defend some other imaginary point on the field for some reason. His mate here should be telling him to get onto this ball and put pressure on it, because it gives this easy free pass here. Now, why it's also dangerous to give an easy free pass is because there's a lot of space in between here. So basically what that means is when he receives the ball, because there's no pressure on here, he gets to take a free run at this defender. This defender knows, he can see, look, he's telegraphing where the pass is going to go. He can't, look, if he gets closer, which he can't, this pass then goes in behind him, so he can't do that. And the reason that is just because this guy's not putting any pressure on the ball, and he's not actually even trying to cut that passing lane out. So they're making it very, very easy right here. Very easy for this guy to receive the ball. Look, then he goes out, and it's one of those. The Premier League players do this all the time because they really don't know how to defend properly. They do this half-assed, they run and then they start sort of jockeying the guy with the ball. He's got no intention of trying to tackle this guy here. No intention whatsoever. Watch. He's too far away from him. He's just trying to jockey him and hope that this player makes a mistake. He's not actually trying to tackle. Watch. Watch. See, look. He's not anywhere near him. He's not trying to tackle him at all. And now all of a sudden, with a little change of direction, bosh, he's beaten. And he's wrong-footed. Let's have a little look. Just watch what he's doing again. Okay, so you see his body shape, right? This is one of the main problems with defending. His body shape is wrong. There's his shoulders. That's the way his head is facing. That means that's the area really that he's defending. And he should be defending that area over here, but he's not, because his body shape is completely and utterly wrong. And that comes from him being lazy getting back in the first place. So he's not really facing the defender properly. So what he's done, to Raheem Sterling's credit, he knows exactly what to do. So you can do this when you're playing football as well, right? So you see where his shoulders are and his face is that way. So you want to get round onto, obviously, to his back. So you want to put the football on the side where his back is to make him turn, because the time he turns, you've already gone, because he doesn't know what he's doing properly, right? So you want to run at his back. Watch what he does. He understands that. He understands this is the space because that's where his back is, because he's still defending over here. He's still defending the corner flag. That's where his body shape is showing him, right? Bosh, straight behind him. Now he can't do anything because that turn then completely wrong foots him. His balance is wrong, and Raheem Sterling's running. So it's two different things there. When you're running and you could go behind a player like that, you've seen it before with I think it was someone did a perfect example of it last season, where they just kept going left and then right, and the defender ended up falling over because he didn't know how to actually change his body shape. From when someone's trying to do that. Similar situation here. And then all of a sudden, bump, a little dribble into the far corner. It's not a good goal by Raheem Sterling. It's more absolutely terrible defending because those guys don't know what they're doing. But he's capitalised on it really well, and he's put it into the bottom of the net box. Well done, wee man. I want to show you this little bit here as well, because people, when they look at football and they see players doing lots of step overs, and they go, oh, okay, yeah, I want to try. Step overs and scissors, two different types of moves, actually. You have to sort of try to break them up, otherwise people don't know why they're used. It's nothing to do with the foot movement. And this is poor coaching. It's to do with the hips. If the hips don't change direction, it doesn't matter how many times you step over the ball because the actual person doesn't move. I do this thing when I'm coaching and try to explain to people which way am I looking, and I'd move the shoulders and the hips and the ball would go the other way, and then get completely confused because people move on their bodies, right? On the body's shoulders and on the body's hips, not on the body's feet. So that's why you don't see many people getting beaten when the people are doing step overs. People like Ronaldinho or Cristiano Ronaldo understood this, and they're moving their hips as well as moving their feet. That's why that people don't get fooled by people doing step overs. Watch what Raheem Sterling does here with his hips. So I'm playing it. Bush. Boomf. Do you see how quick his hips are turning? Okay, yeah, the ball's moved, but that's what the whole point of it is. His hips are shifting, and that's what beats the player. If you don't shift those hips, there's no point doing step overs, and there's no point doing any moves like that at all, because that's not what the eyes focus on. They focus on the hips and the shoulder. If you look at a player back in the day, what's his name? Peter Beardsley. It's called the Beardsley Shuffle. Go back and look at some of the footage on him. I might do a video on that actually and show you. All he does is, because it's a very similar hip shift and tuck the ball behind the player, what Raheem Sterling just did there. That's the easy way to beat players. If you can move your shoulders really quickly, you can make a player fall over because they subconsciously move on the shoulders and the hips, not on the little leg floppy movements that people think that's important. Again, it's because bad coaches haven't identified what actually beats the player. Then people see it on telly and go, oh look, they do that, and then they don't actually explain it properly, and then you keep trying to see people do these foot movements when all they really need to do is move their hips a little bit or their shoulders, and they can beat a player every single time. Let's get on to the next goal. Again, this starts off with Raheem Sterling picking up the ball, and he's running at the back line here, which is, he's been doing it all his career, to be honest. He's a good little player. But all of a sudden, look, you got 3v1. That's where the pass should go in. We should have a shot straight on goal. Doesn't. Defender does well, nicks the ball away from him. All of a sudden, everything looks fine, right? Everything should be easy. This guy here should turn and clear the ball, and they should get their line set. And the reason why he needs to turn and clear the ball is because of this. There is only... let's go through them here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they've got more players on the defensive side than you currently do. So when you turn and you see, unless you don't have it, if you have a clear pass, which you wouldn't through there, it's going to be too tight. You get rid of that ball and you try to get some bodies back and defend the next wave of onslaught that you're going to have to deal with. Let's have a look and see what happens. As he turns, oh look, completely woofs it. Let's just watch that again. Dosh. Do you see when he hits that? This guy here has no idea that he's going to win the ball there. Because if you stop that right there, and as it goes forward, you think, okay, yeah, he's watching. He's going to get that ball. Quite simply, he's watching. He's actually not paying attention enough to realise, look, he's right there. He can stop that ball. Piece cake. Doesn't. Bang. All of a sudden, now there's all sorts of problems. This guy was not paying enough attention, didn't realise his mate just won the ball. Now there's all sorts of problems. Look, watch Raheem Sterling's movement on this next part as well. So here's one of the main difference with with different wide players currently in the Premier League. You can spot the quality ones because they make a decent run. Okay, so when this ball goes out here, watch Raheem Sterling's run. Dosh goes out here, but as soon as it starts going out wide, he recognises it, and he starts doing a jog shuffle over to the middle. Completely unmarked. This player just walked past him. Let's just watch that. Look, there he is. Look. Look at this guy. He's jogging back. Dum. He's had all the time in the world to get back since that ball was won. Hasn't done it. It's completely and utterly unmarked. You see Raheem Sterling's little spin run into the middle, or we call it a button hook, because he's done a little button hook, and he's running some post. See him keep drags himself a couple of steps over towards the middle, a little bit more, bump towards the middle and more. Body shape is perfect. When the ball comes in now, all he's got to do is fish it. That's more of the run. And the lack of defending. Look at the defenders. I'll comment on this all the time. This is how bad these players are in the Premier League. I'd be screaming if these were my players and they're this bad at the football. Right, watch these two. Keep their eyes are focused on the ball. And remember, as I say every single time, eyes on the ball, eyes on the player. Eyes on the ball, eyes on the player. And as I say, you want to see a good player do this, watch John Stones. He does it every week. No one is even bothered to look at where the player is. They're just focused on the ball. Focus on the ball. He's completely unmarked. It's a simple tapping for him. Because the defenders really don't know what they're doing. Their just eyes are focused on the ball. All of them. Dead laser focused on the ball. Player, ball, player, ball, player, ball, player, ball. If you're not doing that, they're going to score every time because you're bad at the football. All right, let's get on to the next goal and see what we can see. Because I could be on this for hours on this one. Like, there's so much space on the outside. The delivery and like, yeah. Let's just get on to the next one. Got to show it. Every time you see this, you know a goal's about to be scored in the Premier League. Someone's sticking their hand up for offsides, not doing their job properly. Play the damn game of football. Stop trying to think you're a linesman. They've already scored from this side a couple of times. Actually, every goal's come from this side here. You shouldn't be doing that. Oh, yeah, you're the guy that didn't track your player the last time. That's right, yeah. You're there with Raheem Sterling, and you've let him run, and you stuck your hand up. Yeah, you are a problem for your football team. All right? As the ball comes, look, he's jogging. It's just a ball over the top. Simple ball. This guy's just let him run. Yeah, whatever. And the problem is, everything happens too fast. When things go wrong really quickly in football. So when this starts to go wrong, Bosch, look, the ball's bouncing. He can't get there as fast. Well, he's probably one of their faster centre backs, but Raheem Sterling's just as quick. So your speed is basically negated if you think of it that way. So say his speed is let's do some old numbers. Out of 10, say his speed is 7, where Raheem Sterling is probably like 7.2. So his extra speed that he would normally have is negated because this guy's just as quick. Gets there, touches the ball, and he first time smashes it across the goal. Of course, none of these guys are actually trying to defend or actually mark a player because he gets a simple tap in. Now, it does take a deflection off this wee man here. It does bounce off him, but even still, there's 2v1 there in the middle, and neither get close enough to make a proper challenge or do anything to that guy there. And it's another simple goal. It's almost a carbon copy of the other goal that Raheem Sterling just scored, except for the roles are kind of reversed now. But I want to go to the point about Raheem Sterling. He's involved in all 3 goals. He's the only one that I really think that is a danger for Chelsea because they don't have a striker. If he's not involved in the play or involved in the goal in any way, I don't think they're going to score many goals just because they don't... It's a different thing scoring goals than it is anything else on the field, and you've got to have an eye for it. And you see that little curved run that Raheem Sterling made, and that's having an eye for scoring those goals. And I don't see anybody else in their team doing it. Yeah, I think they've got to keep him fit if they're going to have any chance of doing anything. But let me know what you think. I'll speak to you next time.